You step out of nowhere into a world you don't recognize. The air hits you first, thick, wet, almost 30% more oxygen than you're used to. Your lungs don't know what to do with it. The trees are 30 feet wide. The ferns reach your chest. And then something moves in the shadows to your left. Not a bear, not a lion. Something 40 feet long that hasn't eaten in 3 days. You have no gun, no phone, no shelter. And you have approximately 4 minutes before this stops being a thought experiment. But here's what nobody tells you about the Cretaceous period. The dinosaur isn't what kills you first. Let's start with the air. 66 million years ago, Earth's atmosphere was a fundamentally different machine. Oxygen levels hovered around 30%, compared to the 21% your body was built for. That sounds like an advantage. More oxygen means more energy, right? Wrong. Your respiratory system evolved for one specific concentration. Flood it with 30% oxygen, and you trigger what's called oxygen toxicity. Within the first hour, you'd feel a strange euphoria, lightheaded, almost drunk. Your vision would begin to narrow. Then the seizures start, pulmonary oxygen toxicity. The slow destruction of lung tissue would begin within 6 hours of continuous exposure, and there is no treatment, no medicine, no altitude adjustment that saves you. You are breathing the wrong air for your biology, and your body knows it immediately, even if your brain doesn't. But let's say you somehow adapt. Let's say your lungs find a way. The ground itself is the next problem. The Cretaceous soil was alive in a way modern soil is not. A microbial ecosystem 66 million years in the making, filled with bacteria, fungi, and pathogens your immune system has never encountered in its entire evolutionary history. Modern humans get sick from bacteria that have co-evolved alongside us for thousands of years. These microorganisms hadn't seen anything like you. Your immune system has no memory of them, no antibodies, no learned response. A simple cut on your foot, one thorn through the skin, would introduce organisms your white blood cells have no playbook for. Infection would move fast. Sepsis faster. Within 48 hours of contact with the raw Cretaceous Earth, your body would be fighting a war it had no training for. And losing. And the water, every river, every lake, every puddle, would carry microbial life so foreign to your gut that drinking any of it would trigger catastrophic gastrointestinal failure. No clean source exists. No filtration helps against organisms that haven't been cataloged because they've been extinct for 66 million years. You are thirsty in a world where every drop of water is poison to you specifically. Now, the plants. Here's the thing about Cretaceous vegetation. Flowering plants, angiosperms, were only just beginning to emerge. The landscape was dominated by ferns, cycads, conifers, and horsetails. Many of these plants produced chemical compounds at concentrations modern plants don't. Alkaloids, resins, terpenes, evolved not against human digestive systems, but against the insects and herbivores of that era. Touch the wrong fern. Brush your hand along the wrong bark. The chemical burns would start within minutes. Eat anything at all. And you're gambling with compounds your liver has no enzyme to process. There is nothing in this world you can safely consume. Not the water, not the plants, not the animals. And here is where it gets worse. You haven't seen the sky yet. The late Cretaceous atmosphere held significantly higher concentrations of carbon dioxide than today, roughly 4 times current levels. The greenhouse effect was in full operation. Average global temperatures ran 8 to 15 degrees Celsius, hotter than what you're used to. The poles had no permanent ice. Shallow inland seas covered large portions of what is now North America. The humidity was total, relentless. Your body's ability to cool itself through sweat depends on evaporation. In 100% humidity, sweat doesn't evaporate, it just sits there. Heat exhaustion would arrive within hours of physical exertion. Heat stroke within a day, your core temperature rising past 40 degrees Celsius until your organs begin to shut down one by one, quietly, without drama. You are overheating in a world that is simply too warm for your biology. And then the insects find you. Cretaceous insects were enormous compared to today's. Higher oxygen meant larger body sizes were sustainable across the animal kingdom. Dragonflies with 70-centimeter wingspans, beetles the size of your hand. But size isn't the issue. The issue is exposure. Modern insects carry diseases, malaria, dengue, sleeping sickness, that humans have developed partial resistance to over millennia of coevolution. Cretaceous insects carried their own internal microbial ecosystems, one bite. One single insect bite introduces foreign proteins directly into your bloodstream. Your immune system, already overwhelmed by the soil and the air, now faces a second front. The inflammatory response alone could kill you. Anaphylaxis without an EpiPen in a world 66 million years before EpiPens existed. Now, let's talk about the dinosaurs. If you have survived the air, the soil, the water, the plants, the heat, and the insects, right, which you haven't, but let's continue, you might encounter one. And the late Cretaceous was not a lonely place. Tyrannosaurus rex patrolled a territory of roughly 40 square miles, with eyesight 3 times sharper than a modern hawk, capable of detecting movement from over a mile away. It weighed 9 tons. Its bite force was 12,800 pounds per square inch, enough to crush a car engine. But T-Rex was not the only concern. Velociraptors, as real ones, not the Hollywood version, were roughly the size of a turkey. Fast, feathered, and hunting in coordinated groups. Triceratops weighed 12 tons and would charge at anything unfamiliar. Mosasaurs patrolled the inland seas. Pterosaurs with 33-foot wingspans cast shadows over the ferns. This world was not built for you. Every organism in it evolved independently of your existence. You are not at the top of this food chain. You are not even on the food chain. You are an anomaly, a biological intrusion. And nature has no mercy for anomalies. Here is what the science actually tells us. A modern human dropped into the late Cretaceous with no equipment, no preparation, and no protective suit would survive an estimated 4 to 7 minutes before the physiological cascade, oxygen, toxicity, microbial exposure, heat, made death inevitable. The dinosaurs are almost irrelevant. The world itself is the predator. And here is the part that should stay with you. Your body, right now reading this, is so precisely calibrated to one specific version of Earth that removing you from it by even a geological blink would kill you before you could form a coherent thought about what was happening. The oxygen level, the microbial balance, the temperature band, the atmospheric chemistry, all of it tuned over millions of years of evolution to exactly the world you currently live in. You are not a general-purpose biological machine. You are a hyper-specialized product of one specific moment in planetary history, which means the world you live in, the one that feels ordinary, unremarkable, sometimes even suffocating, is the only world in the last 500 million years of Earth's history that could have produced you, and the only one that can keep you alive. We spend a lot of time wishing we lived in a different time, a simpler time, a more dramatic time, a time with more meaning built into every day. 66 million years ago, every single day had meaning. It just ended in 4 minutes.